tied and abandoned in the scorching desert. The human mechanics saved the alien dragons of the alien prince. The twin sons of Zereth Prime beat down like fire gods on punishment duty. Winds whipped the coarse red sand into waves. Anyone unlucky enough to get stranded in this wasteland either died fast or slowly and screaming. Elric Vaughn wasn't dead yet, but he was close. His skimmer had blown a stabilizer 30 clicks back. The last of his water sloshed dully in a cracked canister. He was trying to make it to a service beacon, just a smudge of metal marked on outdated maps. No guarantees, just a desperate hope. And that's when he heard the growling. Low, broken, guttural, not the growl of predators. The kind you get from something that should have been mighty, but was too broken to roar. Elric drew his knife. Not that it would do much against whatever had lungs that big, and carefully crested the dune. Then he saw them. 3 of them. Dragons. Not earth dragons. These were the Kytheran war beasts, biotech-engineered creatures grown in the royal labs of the House Viros Kai, known for their psychic links, brutal intelligence, and deadly grace in battle. Each one worth more than a fleet. Yet here they were, tied down with rusted metal chains in the middle of a baking crater. Their ribs were showing, scales sunburned and flaking. Each of them had dried blood around their mouths, some old tech restraints embedded painfully into their necks. Their once glorious wings were tattered. Collars still blinked faintly with royal sigils. And beside them, a torn royal banner. Elric stared. "You've got to be kidding me." He moved cautiously. One of the dragons lifted its head, eyes glowing faintly, not with malice, with hope. "Don't get excited," Elric said, kneeling near the first beast. "I'm not exactly a savior, but I got tools, some coolant, and no one's around to stop me." The creature shuddered, breathing hard. Elric worked all night. Cooling coils. Makeshift shade using salvaged tarp. He poured the last of his electrolyte gel into a dragon's parched throat. He used a cutting torch to slowly melt one of the restraints binding their front claws. By morning, 1 dragon could stand. Barely. It approached him. He didn't flinch. It pressed its head gently against his chest, like a dying soldier reaching for his medic. That was the moment Elric stopped thinking of them as monsters. Over the next 3 days, Elric scavenged the surrounding wreck sites, rebuilding a solar array for basic life support and power. He crafted a custom nutrient blend from his rations, adjusting pH levels to match alien biochemistry. Slowly, the dragon scales regained their luster. The smallest one, a blue and silver female with 1 broken horn, followed him like a dog. He began naming them. Ashwing, the largest, black and rust-colored, with eyes like dying stars. Cinderbite, the middle one, with charred fangs and a tail like a mace. Velka, the smallest, agile and curious. They were intelligent, beyond animal smart. They responded to tone, to repair tools, even learned his name. They had been trained and abandoned. The truth came on the 7th day. The sun shimmered with heat mirage when a cruiser landed on the ridge. Sleek, black, military. Elric stood in front of the dragons as a squad of Viros Kai royal enforcers disembarked. Their leader wore a blood-red crest. "You found classified military property human," he said. "Step aside." Elric looked back at the dragons. Velka hissed and stepped closer to him. "Funny way to treat your property," Elric growled. "Chained up in the desert to die?" "They were defective," the soldier snapped. "They disobeyed direct commands. Protected a criminal. Worthless." Elric's hands tightened around the plasma wrench in his belt. "Defective, huh? I've seen humans less loyal than them. This is your final warning." Cinderbite growled behind him, tail curling like a scorpion stinger. "You want them?" Elric said, "Come and get them." The squad raised rifles. The dragons roared. The desert exploded in heat and fire. It was not a battle. It was a reckoning. Ashwing took the first soldier mid-charge, snapping him in half with a single bite. Velka slithered behind the others, using her wings like blades, slicing open armor. Cinderbite scorched the sand into glass beneath his feet, flames turning the soldiers' boots into molten traps. Elric ducked, tossed a spark grenade he'd rigged from a comm beacon, and dove into the fray beside them. It was chaos, but controlled. The dragons didn't lash out blindly. They protected him, like he'd protected them. When the smoke cleared, only Elric and the dragon stood. "Guess we're not alone anymore," he whispered, falling to his knees in exhaustion. Velka pressed her muzzle into his palm. Ashwing knelt beside him like a silent sentinel. News of the battle spread fast. A smuggler drone caught the entire scene and uploaded it to the Blacknet. When the footage hit galactic feeds, a human mechanic saving Royal War dragons, standing down a royal squad alone, it sparked outrage. Investigations revealed the truth. The alien prince had ordered the dragons abandoned after they protected a young slave girl from his abuse. Rather than punish the dragons publicly, he tried to erase the evidence. He failed. The house of Viros Kai fell within months. The dragons, they became living symbols of rebellion, loyalty, and mercy. And the mechanic, he became a legend. Years later, Elric stood on a cliff, overlooking a vast oasis settlement that had grown where once there was only sun-scorched death. Dragons flew overhead, their shadows stretching like banners. They called the place Karen's Rest, named after the little girl the dragons had once saved. Elric had never meant to become a leader, but the dragons chose him, and he chose them back.